Alright, so I am comparing the two budget builds from Best Buy. They're both $600. One is a complete AMD build with a Ryzen 3 3100, that is a 4-core 8-thread, and the RX 570 4GB graphics card versus Intel's i3 9100F and the GTX 1650. Now, one's not better than the other. It all depends on what you're doing. If you are focusing on just playing Fortnite, I would definitely go with this one. Fortnite favors Intel's for the most part, and it definitely favors the GTX 1650 over the RX 570. They're both pretty similar in performance, but the RX 570 pulls away in more demanding games, but Fortnite for sure favors NVIDIA and Intel. So if you are playing Fortnite, I would go with this one. I have not used this keyboard from CyberPower, but I have used the CyberPower mouse. It came with one of my computers, and it was pretty awful. So I cannot think that this one would be as bad. It would be hard to make one as bad. So definitely this keyboard is nicer, RGB lights, all that stuff. It does have 3 fans. The negative spot is it only has cooling here, here, and on the back here. I don't think that's enough to make any thermal throttling because this CPU does not get very hot, and this GPU definitely does not get very hot because it uses very little voltage, so that's probably not going to be a problem. It does have extra room up top to put a liquid cooler or extra fans, whatever you feel like doing, or you could just leave it empty with the shield on. As for this one has great cooling. It has holes all throughout here, so you will not have to worry about any sort of heat, including up top here has more venting. So that is pretty good. The RX 570 does get warm. I have never used the Ryzen 3 3100, so I cannot say on that, but I know that the RX 570 does get pretty hot. It does use quite a bit of voltage for its performance. So again, back to choosing which computer. So like I was saying, if you do play Fortnite, this one, the GTX 1650 one, definitely does pull away. You're getting 8 more FPS on average. And with the Intel CPU, you are still pulling away with an average FPS boost, about 13% better performance. So you are looking at roughly about 20 more FPS, give or take, going with this computer, this one. So the iBUYPOWER. But if you do play other games and plan to stream, this one does pull away from it because this CPU does have 8 cores, while this one only has 4. This one just has a faster boost clock. This one can overclock, but you're definitely not overclocking with this motherboard, considering it's a pretty cheap basic motherboard, but you probably shouldn't be overclocking with this stock cooler anyways, especially if you're not used to watching temps and watching for any negatives. So if you are playing games like Call of Duty and whatnot, you would probably be better off going with this computer. But if you're strictly playing Fortnite, Roblox, any of those like little games, Human Fall Flat, you're probably going to have a better time with a NVIDIA graphics card. Yeah, just trying to think of other comparisons. They're both really good for $600. And I really can't add on anymore. Like, they both have spots up top. They both have really nice RGB lights. This one does come with an aftermarket cooler. It does not light up, so don't let it trick you. It's just a blue fan, but still aftermarket. This one looks like it's stock. Yeah, that looks like the stock Ryzen. This one has 3 fans altogether. This one has 4, extra fan at the front, but it has less sucking abilities. Ooh. And then, yeah, RGB keyboard with this, volume control, so that's pretty cool. This one, by the looks of it, doesn't really have too much. I'm guessing that's the volume control there, so that's decent to have, so you can't complain about that. The mouse does do RGB, but it does have a low DPI rate. Both have multiple RAM slots, too, like most basic computers have. I don't like how they went that way across. The cable management is probably not going to be as good as it shows in the photos. These are definitely done proper. But yeah, they're both actually pretty good PCs. Sorry, that's my dog. This one does have an RGB light across the bottom. They both have PSU shrouds, which is this box at the bottom that hides all the cables, all the ugly stuff you don't want to see. Both have a decent distance from the ground, meaning that your PSU, your power supply, is not going to be sucking up nothing. When you're picking out a pre-built or a case in general, you should always make sure to choose one with a decent amount of space. You want to be able to stick your hand under there, knowing that airflow is going to be getting in there. Some cases I see are very, very low to the ground, and I can't see very much air getting into the power supply. So if you are playing Fortnite, this one. If you are planning to stream and play other games, definitely this one.